Rough. Good afternoon, DJ. It is still Tuesday, October 28th. Time is currently 1:18 p.m. PM session. Let's go. Yeah, arrived at my desk at 1:15. All right. As always, our weekly target is 5%, daily target is $500. Obviously, that's not relevant right now, but still part of the process. Mental check-in, feeling generally okay. Excited to see what price action has in store for us this PM session. Excited to continue to grow and get 1% better and hopefully do better than I did this morning. Okay. Risk disclaimer, I accept any risk that comes with trading today. I understand that trading comes with real risk and that losing is part of the game. No news of note to mention this PM session. Okay, but we've had news today, making it an optimal day to still take a trade. Risk going into today. All right, we managed to cross some of the drawdown back. All right, so we'll be at regular. All right, risking 500 per trade. If and when we do take a trade, we see our setup. All right, weekly condition going into this week was buy program. Nothing's really happened in price since we've been away to change that for us here. Okay, dollar still respecting this premium array. All right, it was respecting this 4-hour discount. All right, but as you can see, came to take minus buy side and then turned around. Okay, below price. Okay, we have this inefficiency. So dollar still risk on scenario for me. I already said multiple times what needs to be happening for me to flip on dollar here. Until that happens, I'm still maintaining my bias. 1 second, DJ. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned on MNQ or NQ, same thing. All right, nothing's really happened in price since we've been away to change our weekly program. The trade that I was in, all right, ended up coming to take me out for a loss. However, all right, as lunch started at 11:30, I did see this beautiful trade set up here. Okay, drop down to a discount, took sell side here, displays higher, market structure shift back above that opening level there. Okay, I entered here, but I'm thinking moving forward, I'm just gonna use the fib. All right, I need to see a retracement back into discount, and then I'll be anticipating a setup. If it's obviously a small range and it's just a small fair value gap like this one, then it's not necessary for me to use the fib. I'll just enter on the fair value gap. Okay, but yeah, was managed to get into this trade. Still in there. All right, calling back some drawdown there. I think I ended up the morning down 1,000. We can go back into the performance thing here and see. Hold on. Where would it tell me? Oh no, it will tell me in here. Yeah, ended the morning down just a little bit over $1,000. All right, just slowly but surely. All right, crawling a little bit of it back on the drawdown there. So yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. We will take it. And what I did on this trade is that I got in at 5 contracts, obviously, because I was already down on the day, down $1,000, going a half, not even half. I don't even know how much I was supposed to be getting on this trade. 5, but we'll just stop here. Yeah, like half contract. Yeah, going at 5. All right, just been taking one off at fib extensions, the positive. The whole numbers. All right, took one off here, took another one off here, took another one off here. All right, just taking one off as we go. But yeah, was able to see this trade. I was actually sitting on the toilet when I saw this trade. Sorry, TMI DJ, but I was actually sitting on the toilet when I saw this setup. I'm like, yeah, it's done the damage now. All right, dropped into a little bit of a deeper discount than this was. Right, it's not that deep of a discount, but in terms of opening price, opening 9:30 opening, it was a little bit of a discount. We took sell side here, displays back above it, caused the market structure shift back above that opening price. All right, this this is my ideal setup moving forward now. This is what I'll be anticipating: liquidity below and then back above, market structure shift, and then waiting for the fib unless it's a short range where it's just one fair value gap. Obviously here, potentially, hindsight 2020 should have waited till it got to 62 to enter the market, but ended up getting up here because I don't know. I was like, yeah, what if it doesn't come down? But moving forward, I'll just be sticking purely with the fib as my entry and exit. Like I said, like it's meant to be. All right, and I'm reading off the 1 to 3 targets and just keeping the risk constant at 500, and whatever contracts I get in that, obviously I'll partial and we'll see how that goes. But for now, all right, I'm in a better headspace. All right, after seeing this setup, just kind of confirm to me that, hey, you know what you're doing, just relax. All right, if you take a loss, it's fine, nothing wrong with it, but don't lose your cool. All right, and try to enter a trade. All right, after you just took a loss, just relax, let the market show you what it wants to do. All right, take a breather and then come back and then refresh and wait for the setup and keep it pushing. Okay, but yeah, it was a tough morning for me, but like I said, it's done now. It's just one session out of a lifetime of a career. It's not going to make or break me. Okay, and I was able to crawl back some drawdowns on the morning session there. So we let it go and we move on. All right, PM session, we're ready. So it is what it is. Mhm. Let's get rid of some of these. Da, 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 da. Also, DJ, I also want to make note that my first initial trade here was a bit premature on my part, okay? Yes, we broke below a key level below opening, right? It's displaced back above it, but we didn't cause a market structure shift above it. These two candles, they have the same high, right? 51.50. Wait, hold on. Oh, I mean, yeah, this candle is the same level, right, as the opening, as the open. The open of this candle is 51.50, and this the high is 51.50. All right, it's not above it, right? If it was a tick above it, different story, right? Then it would have caused a market structure shift back above that open price, but it was the same level, all right? So it's not really a market structure shift back above it if it's at it. So this setup here, in hindsight, right, looking back at it, was premature on my part. All right, nothing wrong with the setup though. I didn't even think I took this buy here, but this would have been a fair buy if I took it. But I took the sell. Yeah, even this sell here, right? What we just talked about negates the sell that I took because we didn't take market structure shift above it and then displace low and cause the market structure shift below it. Okay, so yeah, this was on my part. All right, looking back, hindsight 2020. This obviously this wasn't a valid buy, and this sell that I was in also wasn't a valid sell. So this here would have been valid. Okay, this would have been a nah. Yeah, well, we take market structure back above this open. So yeah, would have been a valid trade here. Obviously, hindsight would have been a loss, and then this probably would have been the only. This was fair trade too. This was a fair loss. So this and this would have been the two trades for the morning, and then this for lunch. Cool. But yeah, just wanted to make note of that, DJ, that I was premature here in the sell just because I don't know, pressure, or I wanted to just take a trade to take a trade. I don't know. But yeah, this was the same high, it wasn't above it, so there was no market structure shift back above it or above it and then taking below it. So either trade was invalidated by not taking this or this high not being above, right? By it being the same. I don't want to see that. I want to see above, like this one. This high is 51.75, right? We go a tick above it, which is perfect, right? It means we're swinging above it, market structure shift back above it, and easy peasy. Displacement was clear, sell side was taken, displaced back above it. Yeah. If it don't look like this, I don't want it. You know? Granted, it's not a time I trade, but I just happened to be in front of the market. Yeah, I just happened to be on seeing the market and I saw this. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm anticipating to drop into a discount. All right, because we're above midnight open and we gapped up. So yeah. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. All right, back to silence for me there, DJ. Just wanted to add there a tidbit in there, just so when I watch this back, I know what's going on. at this point, I've hit my terminus, all right? I've reduced risk to a point where I'm okay with it. If it gives me another opportunity to move up to my terminus, I will. I'm just, hey, trying to squeeze the juice for every drop I can get at this point. I'm fine if it comes and takes me out here as well. Okay, I'll be at least coming out of a decent amount of my drawdown on the day here. Okay, so I'm happy with however this trade pans out. If it carries on higher and allows me to move higher as well, I will do that. I'll squeeze this trade until if it gives me the opportunity to get to break even, then great. If it doesn't, still I've done a lot to come out of my drawdown from this morning. So yeah, very happy with this trade. And to me, I'm done with this trade. All right. As far as I'm concerned, it's hit my terminus right now. I'm just playing about. All right, mucking about, trying to squeeze a little bit more out the lemon. But if it doesn't give it to me, it doesn't give it to me. I'm happy with what I've already got out of this juice. So here, so yeah, DJ. We take this high, all right? I'm gonna adjust my stop higher as well. Thank you very much. We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that. Very happy with that. No qualms, no problems whatsoever with that trade. Maybe potentially what I could have done better here, right? Is not is it would have been it should have been this swing low because it's the last swing that took that liquidity below market structure back above. Should move to here. But either way, yeah, I don't mind. Let's see how this plays out here. If the stop was here rather than here. All right, let's see how it plays out. Still will be in there for now. All right, but all in all, very, 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 very happy with my performance on the day today. Started off rocky, all right, a bit shaky, but ended up, gathering myself together and, crawling back about 90% of my drawdown, okay, on the day. So yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it for today for the first day of trading. It's tough, 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 tough. Yeah, pretty much 90% out of drawdown. So we'll take that. We'll take that. And that will be us for today. I'm gonna end it here. All right. Let's see. Yeah, would have come and take it would have come and taken me out here, DJ. All right. I would have moved it to probably the rejection block here. all right, would have come and taken me out. Maybe at the swing, I would have been fine for now. Okay, at the swing, I would have been fine. So yeah, let's do swings, right? But let's see anyway how this plays out. See how price behaves in here. Hello? Yes, this is her. Sorry about that, DJ. Yeah, so as we can see here, obviously trailing is something that I haven't worked on really, so fair enough, you live and you learn. Should have been this swing low and not this swing low, which is fair. So yeah, here still would be in there. Okay, head into -7. Cool, bro. Um, yeah. All in all, fair enough. Fair enough. Happy on the day there. We'll take it, DJ. We'll take it. also crawled back 90% of my drawdown with less contracts, right? Than I initially took the losses. This was just 5 contracts. If I had gone into the trade with what my risk parameters would allow me, obviously I would have made more, but being already coming from a drawdown, it wasn't, financially or risk management wise, right? It wasn't wise to go back into a trade with the same amount of risk after being already down $1,000 on a day. Just didn't make sense to me. So that's why I chose to go back at a less risk, just in case. Obviously, if I took another loss, it wouldn't be full max risk, and I wouldn't be down 1,500, right? So yeah, I'm very happy and pleased with my performance. I'll do a trade performance review and get out here for the day. All right, I don't think we're gonna get anything more. It's just gonna keep itching higher and higher, which is fair. All right, need to work on my trailing. Okay, something I'm gonna implement. I need to work on it. Boom. All right, this done that. It went here. Boom, boom. This done that. It should have went below this swing low, and then we leave it alone. And then boom, boom. And then now, once we took that swing here, it would be my stop would have adjusted to this swing low here. And obviously, I still would be able to capitalize on the rest of the move here to -7. Oh no, it was 6 or -6. And obviously, if it gave me the opportunity, I would have moved the profit and kept trailing until it came to take me out like it did today. So that's what I'll be doing moving forward. We're gonna just use the fib, all right? Fib entry and exit, like it says here on my fib entry and targets. That's what I'm gonna be using, all right? Fibs and market key price levels. So yeah, just gonna stick with that and see how we go. Need to go back and finish my back testing. So yeah, DJ, let's do a trade performance review and end it here for the PM session and for the day. All in all, this is this similar setup from yesterday, right? Unlike today, we did come into that permanent for value gap there, right? Boom, boom. Similar setup, all right, knowing that we had lunch session buy side above price, okay, the potential we could take. Similar PM session setup here. Okay, so yeah, I'm noticing. And then there was a few. This I probably wouldn't have been comfortable enough to get in that. But yep, solid, fair enough during the time, right? Takes liquidity, market structure shift back above it. This is fair trade. Takes liquidity, market structure back above it. If it gave me an opportunity here, this would have been a fair trade as well. But why did all this PM session? All right. Also from lunch, we'll start from lunch because pretty much that's where my PM session started for me. Is that I showed up, okay, got 1% better, gained experience, learned lessons. That'll take you to my next session, next trading day. Okay. Also, what I did well today is that I didn't let my drawdown or my short-term adversity of taking 3 losses in a row, right, in the morning, deter me from, or it almost got me on tilt. All right, that third trade in the morning, that was unnecessary. That was on my fault. Already talked about it. That was on the trader. I mean, that was on the gambler. All right. Well, the trader is on the trader too, the trader and the gambler, because the analyst wasn't saying get into that trade. So I'll take full accountability and full responsibility for that loss there. Okay, I shouldn't have been in the market there, but lesson learned. All right. Yeah, we're talking about what I did well is that I didn't let what happened this morning deter me from, hey, there's a good opportunity here that's setting up. Right, even though you've taken all these losses, hey, this is the setup that you've been waiting for. It was clean, it was clear, the displacement was obvious. We had a short-term high above that opening level, okay, that it came to take, unlike over here, right? I don't want to be doing these things anymore. Okay, so even though this was typically not a trading time that I would take a trade, all right, it's still time and price, right? Is an opening of the lunch, right? So it's still we still have time and we had price matching up. So it was a perfect setup for London close there. Okay, so very happy and pleased with myself for also going in at a reduced risk rather than, hey, I've taken 3 losses. All right, I don't want to have to take another max loss. All right, even though all those other losses wasn't like fully max loss because I still have about, well, actually I hit the third one took me over to over 1,000. So yeah, anyway, fair enough. I think I did the right thing by going in at a lower risk, all right, than, you know, than it was telling me to go in at. Hold on. And it was managed very well. Okay, obviously trailing is something that's new to me and I need to work on. But yeah, I learned my lesson here anyway. That will take into my next trading day, next trading session. Where I fell short this PM session. I don't think I fell short. We really just spent the PM session managing our trade from lunch, and pretty much that was pretty much it, really. Obviously, there was opportunities of post 130 that we could have partook in, but that's something that we're collecting data on, and it's not something that we're ready to be putting risk behind just yet. Okay, so when we collect more data and we build more confidence on that, then obviously we can put money behind it. But for now, something that we're watching and paying attention to price action. Okay, when we're in like uncharted territory, what is price showing us for us to be able to obviously get into a trade? We're constantly taking buys, all right? Prices that spending little to no time below lows. These are all bullish institutional order flow. So once it's bullish institutional order flow is suggesting bullishness, how do we obviously jump on board on the train and capitalize on the opportunities that the market has given us? Oh, we've reached our max there. So hey, this could be it. It could keep going higher. Who knows? Who cares? I'm done. I'm no longer in a trade, so for me right now, I prefer it to turn around and drop. But if it keeps going higher, good for you, good on you. But how I can improve for next day, next trading session is when I'm trailing, okay? When I'm trailing, all right, use the previous swing, not the current swing that's forming, right? Because prematurely I moved to this, even though I moved to this rejection block, it should have even been at the swing. Even if it was at the swing, I still would have been taken out here. But anyway, follow it in terms of a low being taken and a high being taken. All right, the ones breakers, right? Breakers, the swing lows that causes the break or breaker. Is it a breaker? Yeah, the swing low that causes breakers, and just trail it that way. Okay, and yeah, that's something I can do to improve for next day, next trading session. Work on my trailing if that's what I'm gonna be. If I'm going to be implementing, you know, kind of a trailing. Once price is showing me that it wants to keep going higher, just just trail and accept that, hey, you can come take me out, and I'll have to accept what my open profit where I'm at, and be happy with it and keep it pushing. Also, how I can improve for next trading session is just maintain your discipline. Okay, keep sticking to your model procedures and protocols. Don't let losses or short-term adversity, all right, get you on tilt, okay? No pressure on your goal, on your target, all right? You know what you need to do. Just losses are part of the game. You know this, you understand this, you accept this every day that you're in front of markets. Don't let it, you know, put you on tilt, right? Because that third trade of the morning, that was absolutely uncalled for, unnecessary, all right, led to a loss for no reason. It's just I should have just been patient and just waited for a cleaner opportunity, right? If, like I say, if it's not a hell yeah, then why am I getting in the trade, right? And that wasn't a complete hell yeah for me. That was just impulsiveness and just me trying to make back losses that I took on the day, right? So, um, and that was me like obviously not being strict on myself in terms of this high here. I knew it was the same level, right? I knew it, and I was like, maybe I should be lax on myself a little bit, but no, I'm not doing that no more. All right, not doing that. I gotta be strict on what I'm looking for, and if I'm not seeing it, then there's nothing for me. If the market, ends up going in my direction, great. If it doesn't, great. I'm not in the market, so I don't feel no type of way about it. But yeah, yeah, this will be another opportunity here. But yeah, other than that, just keep showing up, okay? Keep learning from your mistakes, keep learning from the losses, and also don't let them deter you. Right? Don't let it take you on tail. And yeah, that'll be it for me today. Tomorrow is FOMC, right? Two-stage FOMC. So we'll be here in the morning still to see how the morning trades, but the better price action will be in the PM session for us tomorrow. So other than that, I'm very happy and pleased with my performance today. Started off shaky and on the rocks, but managed to, catch myself and bring it back to where it needs to be. Okay, so hopefully I can just let that go and maintain what I did in the PM session, or from lunch session going into PM session. So DJ, that's it from me today. Yeah, ending on a very positive note, which I like, which makes it easier for me to forget this morning. Okay, so we'll take it. And yeah, any day close to or above equity highs, all right, not being down where I was at, is a good day in my books. Today's been a great day in my books. Okay, one that I would, remember and obviously learn from for tomorrow. Okay, DJ. But other than that, we're still in here. All right, we're down, but we're not out. All right, still got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, two sessions each. So we got 6 more opportunities here. All right, to pass this test, pass this challenge this week. And yes, possible. I can do it. All right, just focusing on high probability setup, and obviously waiting on that retracement into the 66, between that 50 and that 60%, 62% retracement. All right, like OTE basically. All right, and then engaging in a setup there. And if it doesn't give me that fair, I have a condition where if the range is small and it's just one fair value gap, I'm fine to enter on the fair value gap, as long as we've seen the liquidity below, market structure shift above. All right, we can do that. Yeah, yesterday, yeah, and we'll wait for the market structure shift, and then if it comes back, then fair. But yeah, DJ Rumbler, stuff that I can talk to myself off air. Don't need to talk about it on here. And with that being said, all right, until next time, until tomorrow morning, good luck, good trading, happy hunting, folks.